Do you ever have days where you just want to avoid human contact at all costs? Then other days where you find yourself desperately craving connection with your tribe, your people, or hell, any people for that matter? If you have, I promise you're not alone. I want to believe that we all have at some point. Then again, I could be wrong. As a military wife, a homeschooling mom, and an entrepreneur, my life can get really isolating at times. Mainly because there are just not many people that can understand or even relate to the roller coaster ride that unfortunately is my life. Also, I just don't come into contact with many people every day. Before I know it, it's been a week since I've spoken to anyone that isn't a client, my husband, or our 4-year-old. As a naturally extroverted New Yorker, I just always loved being around people, discussing common interests, sharing life stories, learning new cultures. It was always just so comforting to me. So you can imagine how uncomfortable I became when my everyday life no longer reflected those type of connections. As I approach the last year of my 20s, I'm learning that life is truly about constantly finding your way back to yourself. Somewhere along my journey, I stopped being myself. I let a few bad energy exchanges deter me from being what I was always born to be, a social butterfly. Until one day, I finally decided enough was enough. If I was going to get everything I wanted out of this life, I couldn't do it alone. I didn't want to do it alone. As a person that thrives from community, it was time for me to truly get out there and build my village. The only way to do that was to put myself out there. And by out there, I mean spontaneously agreeing to drive 3 hours across state lines to hike up a mountain with women I've never met before. I sat on the invitation for weeks before finally agreeing to go only a few days before. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. Making new friends as an adult is really hard. I think it's because the more we mature, the more we know what we want for ourselves. And the older we get, the less we're willing to tolerate anyone that doesn't align with our vision. Going into this trip, I knew I wanted to be intentionally surrounded by women that understood this journey I'm on. Little did I know, that's exactly what this day would turn out to be. My anxiety wanted me to believe that I already knew what would happen, that somehow, surrounded by this group of women, I would still feel so isolated and alone, because maybe these girls just wouldn't get me. Maybe our energies wouldn't align. Maybe I'm just better off alone. My anxiety was getting louder than my intuition. But somehow, I managed to find the strength to suppress those thoughts, to fully allow myself to be present, and I'm so glad I did. Because I met women from all different walks of life. All of us with our own stories, all of us in the same place at the same time, seeking the same thing, community.
Fight it, let it ride.
As we spent the day laughing, joking, sweating, and even meditating together and managing to push ourselves and each other up the mountain, all I could think was imagine if I didn't come.
We did it!
Like
Thank
a real
you for coming to the Holistically Sakai hike. There will be
period.
more to come.
every business owner, if you want to own a successful business, you got to wear multiple hats in your business to know how it's supposed to be done. You don't got to be an expert in every field, but you should know how to run every part of your business. And I feel like what better way to build a successful multi-million-dollar business than to working under one. It was hard, but you did it. You did it. Proud of you. We was not gonna leave y'all. You got it, girlie. It's okay.
The sisterhood that was formed that day was exactly what I was seeking. I watched as strangers cheered for girls that struggled like they had known them their entire lives. You could just feel the pride radiating from all of us. We made it, not just individually, but collectively.
Ready, set, go.
I almost put up a middle finger.
I did.
I tried throwing a middle finger.
Cause I fucking did it.
And the best part was that it didn't stop there. Once the girls realized that I hadn't made any local connections yet, they didn't hesitate to invite me to a handful of their upcoming events. In the span of a couple weeks, we had hiked, drank, cooked, and even partied together. It began to feel like the universe dropped these girls in my lap at a time I needed support and community the most. There I was, partying, mingling, and just having fun. All things that I hadn't done in a while. It felt great. It felt freeing. It felt like I finally made my way back to myself. If there's anything that this entrepreneurship journey has taught me, is that it truly takes a village. It takes a village to feel heard, to feel seen, to feel understood. But more importantly, it takes a village to get you where you're going. You can only go but so far by yourself, and I am so glad that I went out on a limb and decided to take this leap to meet these new people and to essentially start building my village. We always hear that it takes a village, but the part they leave out is that sometimes you have to build it. So if you want to officially become a part of my tribe, you can catch me in this video right here. And until then, you know where to find me.